Today's video is day number 2 of my Lucid Dreaming challenge. So I'm going to be doing a video every single day until I have a successful lucid dream, so others out there can follow step by step of what I did, so they hopefully can have their own lucid dream as well. I'm going to be going over my bedtime routine, specifically how many reality checks I did yesterday, and the specific lucid dreaming techniques I did prior to bed and in the middle of the night. So to start off with, yesterday I set my alarm, or I set my phone with that same app I used in my first video of the challenge, and I set it for 20 random reality checks throughout the day. So my phone went off 20 random times, and each time it went off, I made sure I checked my wrist, because that's the reality check I'm going to be doing for this entire challenge. I checked my wrist, made sure the bracelet and wristband was still attached, and I went on with my day. I did that 20 times at random. Now, as I was going to bed, I did not do any kind of meditation techniques or any relaxation techniques. What I did is I sat in my bed and I stared at this bracelet on my wrist. I told myself, I'm gonna realize I'm dreaming. I'm gonna look at this bracelet in my dream. I'll gain lucidity. I looked at it in as much detail as I could possibly soak in. So I looked at the texture of it. I felt it. There's 3 different colors on here. So I was looking at the pattern of the colors, what order they came in. I was just really staring at it, wasn't really breaking my concentration at all, taking it all in, telling myself over and over that I'm gonna look at my wrist and see that this is gone in the dream. I did that for 1 minute. Wasn't very long, I just stared at it for 60 seconds. You can set an alarm and do that. As I was lying down in bed, I did the count yourself to sleep method again. I breathed in, I counted to 1, and on my out breath, I said a personal phrase of, "This is a dream." I have a video on how you can do this as well, so I use the count yourself to sleep method going to bed. I ended up falling asleep in the middle of that technique. Now, prior to bed, I made sure I had 2 ideas. So either if I woke up in the middle of the night from a dream, from a vivid dream that I could remember, I was going to do the mile technique. Now, if I woke up in the middle of the night from no dream and I just woke up, I was going to do a lucid dreaming incubation technique. I was going to kind of try to do my own version of what I'd like to project into. Now, I have videos on both of these techniques, so it's important to kind of realize or have a conversation with yourself before you go to bed that, okay, if you have a dream and you come out of it, to do the mile technique, but if you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't really remember the dream, but you know you just kind of left one, you can use a different technique to try to get you back in. So when I woke up in the middle of the night, I did not set an alarm at all. I woke up naturally. Now, it was in the middle of the night and I did not remember barely any of my dream. I knew I just came from a dream, but I didn't remember any details. So I did not do the mile technique. I immediately went to the lucid dreaming incubation technique. So what I did was I took 3 deep breaths. On each breath, I said, "This is a dream," kind of primed myself. After those 3 breaths, before going to bed, for the incubation technique, you want to have kind of an outline of where you want to be, as much detail as possible, a location or an area. And so I already had this in my head. So while I was going to bed, I started to envision a forest or some kind of woods, and it was as much detail as possible. So, you know when you're standing in a park or in the woods and a nice breeze comes out of nowhere, I was envisioning a hot day out there, a breeze coming, trying to feel the breeze. I was, putting birds, as much detail as I possibly could into this imagery. As I was doing that, some hypnagogic images did start to fire. Some flashes of images came through my eyes. I saw loads and loads of just lights going crazy everywhere. Unfortunately, it did not produce a lucid dream for me. I ended up just drifting off into sleep, and I did not have a lucid dream. I'm going to be making a video every single day until I do have a successful lucid dream. And as always, remember, this shit is so easy, you can do it in your sleep.